What's going on, gamers? My name is Lando Rizian, and today we're going to be talking about goalkeeping in Rematch. I've been playing lots of Rematch. I got about 50 hours on the game now. I'm Platinum 1 in Ranked, climbing my way to the top, and I see a lot of goalkeeping mistakes that are pretty easily solvable, and honestly come down to one, decision making, and two, basics that you would learn in playing real soccer. So today I want to go through a bunch of those. I want to go through the goalkeeper arc and how to cut down angles, how to play out 1v1 situations, because those are really tough, defending crosses, when to come out and pick up the ball, clearing the ball, the most efficient and safe ways to do that, and then a fun few tips and tricks at the end. So follow me, we're going to go through this. I'll teach you all the tips and tricks, and you will become a stonewall goalkeeper for your team, and everyone will love you. First up, we are going to talk about the goalkeeper arc. Alright, so into the goalkeeper arc. What is a goalkeeper arc? Well, here on our masterfully drawn field that I have set up, here we have the goal, right? This is the goal line / back wall. Here's our box, midfield, yada yada. So, what in goalkeeper arc is basically it's a line, not a real line, but a kind of imaginary line that comes from one post to the other post in an arc shape. And basically what that's meant to do is you want to try to stay, you don't necessarily want to stay right on the goal line, because if you're standing right here and someone makes a shot way over here, you're going to have less of an opportunity to get that ball as you do standing up here, and you can come over like this. You have more time before the ball gets to the goal line compared to standing on the goal line itself. Now, the goalkeeper arc is basically you want to be staying on this line when you're defending, when your team is defending. Now, where you stand on the line is going to change. It all depends on where the ball is. What you want to do is you want to try to line yourself up on the goalkeeper line on this arc where the ball is. So if the ball's right here, right, you want to be standing right here, right? You see that you're making a line between you and the ball. And what this does is it makes it look like for the offensive player, one, that you're a little bit bigger in the box, in the goal, because you're standing farther out. The closer you are to them, the less of an angle they have, right? So you're a little bit cutting off their angle in that sense. You're also basically saying nothing is going to come in right here. I'm standing so close to this side, don't even shoot it here because I'm 100% going to save it, right? Now, the fact is that they might shoot it there, and you have a very, very high likelihood to save it, but it might go in from time to time. So you're basically saying, never put it here. I'm standing so close, I can just grab it easily 100%, right? And what you're doing is you're saying, shoot over on this entire side here. Now, that might seem a little counterintuitive that you're giving that much space on that side, but because you're cutting down the angle of the ball to yourself, right? They have all this space over here, and you have a line here that's above the goal line, right? So you have more time to get to the ball before it goes in the goal. And because you're saying never shoot right here, never shoot on this side that I have completely, I'm so close, I'm gonna stop it every time. You more or less know, now you have to still stay aware, use your eyes, expect anything, but you more or less know that the shot is going to always come onto this side, right? It's going to come here, it's going to come here. Someone might be really good and they might put it all the way over in the corner, but you know it's going to come to that side, essentially. You're forcing them, you're saying, hey, don't shoot it here. And then because you're saying don't shoot it here, you know where the shot's going to go, right? So basically, if you're standing there and the guy's about to shoot, you're like, okay, I know I'm going to dive to the right. Because visually, in this player's brain, they have no opportunity of scoring a goal here. Now, if we take this back, The hardest part is when someone is taking a shot right at the top of the box, because you want to be standing right here. Now, this is good. You want to be standing right in the middle at the top of your arc. It's going to visually let them know that it's going to visually make it seem like they have less of an angle, that you're bigger in the goal and they have less space to shoot on. But what this comes down to is a 50-50, right? Unlike the other example where they only had this opportunity to shoot to the left and all of the space on the right, so you know more likely than not, they're going to be going over to the right. They have an equal amount of space on the left and the right. If you ever find yourself in a position where it is a one-on-one with the person right here and they're going for a shot and you are right here, the only thing you can do is pick a side. When he shoots, pick one side or the other, and that's about all you can do. It's a 50-50 for both parties. So pick a side, dive. If it goes in, whatever, you know, this person should never have a 1v1 at the top of the box. That means there's a defensive failure. If you save it, fantastic, right? Like, that's a save that in reality you shouldn't be making. It should be a goal for this guy every single time. So one other thing I would like to talk about on the goalie arc before we move into the game is when the person has the ball all the way over here, right? They're all the way down at the edge of the box, or at the edge of the field, on the left or right side of the box, and you're going to be wanting to stand right here, because literally not even right there, right at the post. And that makes it so that they virtually have zero angle to shoot the ball, right? There might be some insane way that they're able to get it back here, but the only way for them to make a shot that goes back there is essentially through you. You know, I made the line wider so that you can see, but essentially they would have to go over the top of you. So that means you can just jump up and save it. Anything else they try to send in except that shot, which is still incredibly savable, you can stand there and block it. They have virtually zero angle on the goal from this position. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if they're any good, they're going to end up crossing the ball, right? They're going to cross the ball to one of their teammates in the box here. Might be a guy here, might be a guy here. So when I'm the goalkeeper and I see a guy with the ball all the way down here at the very end, and I'm standing right here at the post, what I'm going to do is, my brain's not going, okay, this guy's going to shoot the ball. My brain's going, he's going to cross it. And I still want to be in this position right here. I still want to be cutting off his angle, because if I do move to up here, now he's got an angle here and he can go around, right? So I still want to be cutting off the angle, but either he's going to try to shoot and the ball's going to end up in my hands. Great, fantastic. He can do that every fucking time he wants, right? Or he's going to cross it. So if he's crossing it, I'm going, okay, he's going to cross it. And I am expecting to either shift over to the mid or shift over to the far right. Now, still, this is very, very hard to actually save, right? Because you are going to be a little bit later. So all you can really do is be like, okay, I know the moment he kicks the ball, I'm shifting over to the middle or I'm shifting over to the right. So you just got to keep that in your head. Instantly shift over. You might do a couple defensive stance dashes, or you might just run. Stay on your goalie arc so you can cut down the angle of wherever they're shooting from and try to react as best as you can. Okay, everyone. Now we're going to be talking about 1v1 situations and how to best defend 1v1 situations. Now, I want to preface this by saying, first of all, 1v1, pure 1v1 situations where there's not even a defender close to being able to tackle him from behind or on him should never be happening. That is a pure defensive failure on your teammate's part. And the other thing is, in pure 1v1 situations, you are more likely to get scored on than make a save. So if you ever get scored on in 1v1, wipe it off, don't think about it. Again, defensive failure, not a goalkeeping failure. So the first thing that I want to talk about is don't bite at the ball. right? So when I say don't bite at the ball, if a guy's coming down, he's got the ball, he's gonna, he's like here, he's like, oh, I'm coming in, and he goes for a rainbow, right? What I mean with don't bite at the ball is don't just rush right out and go for a slide. That's what people are gonna be expecting you to do. It's very easily rainbowable, right? I'm sure you've seen it multiple times in your games. I'm sure you've done it in your games. Pretty easy to do. Now, if a guy's coming down with the ball, the first thing you want to do is get on your goalie arc, right? Imagine that arc across the top of the box from one post to the other. You want to cut off that angle. You want to say, hey, this left side here, right? This left side, you're not shooting there because I can literally do this and stop it, or I can just do this and stop it. It's never going in, right? So you're saying, I want to try to force you to the right side. I want to try to force you to shoot over on that side of the goal. That's the first step. Get your defensive positioning or your goalie positioning on that arc, cut down the angle. Now, it really depends how close they get to you on what to do, right? Someone might just rip a shot from the top of the box. That was a bad shot, but someone might go for one of those, something like that. They might not come all the way into you. Honestly, that's pretty easy to save if they're coming from an angle, like one of the sides. The hardest time that's to save is when they're right here, right? And you're standing right at the top of your arc, right in the middle, and they're standing right at the top of the box in the middle, because he's either going this side or this side. He has two equal opportunities on either side of the box, right? The best thing you want to do in that situation is you want to make yourself big. You might even take a couple steps out of that goalie arc. You're not going to rush him down, but you might take a couple more steps to make yourself seem bigger in the box, right? Seem like it has less space to shoot, that you're bigger than you actually are. So if the guy decides he's going to come down and take the ball on, right? He's going to do this. He's going to do one of these. He might do one of the classic just push balls to the side and pass in, right? What you really want to do is you want to wait. You want to wait. He might be doing some fancy, one of these little something like that. You want to stay on your goalie arc and wait for the best opportunity you possibly have, right? I see players all the time. They're coming in hot and they're push balling and they push ball it right into you, right? They might finish their push ball right here. And if you come out and try to slide it, they can get their rainbow in. Stay on your goalie arc. Wait until the very last second for them to make something, right? Because if you're on your goalie arc and I'm right here and I try to do any sort of shot, I'm essentially standing right on top of the goalie. If the goalie's in his defensive stance, any ball this guy tries to put out is instantly going into your hands without even diving because of your defensive stance. He might try to do one of these, right? Again, if you don't bite and you're staying on your arc, it's a pretty easy shot to save, right? You can dive, you can try to react to the ball, you can dive out when he starts the shot, right? But if he goes for one of these and you're doing something where you're trying to jump up and grab it, or you think it's going in, or you make a dive and it's actually off the backboard and not in the goal, it's a wide open net. Easiest shot of my life. So 1v1s. Cut down the angle. Find your positioning on the goalie arc. Don't bite at the ball. And the closer they are to you, the less of an angle they have on the goal. Wait for the very last opportunity, because they also are going to wait for the very last opportunity. They're going to try to get as close as they can. And if you're not biting on anything, they essentially have no shot. It's going to go right into your arms without even having to dive. So that's our 1v1 idea for goalkeeping, right? Positioning, don't bite, wait for the last second. All right, now we're going to talk about what I think is probably one of the hardest things to do when you're playing goalkeeper: defending crosses. Now, the first thing I want you to think about when you're defending crosses is, where is the person with the ball? What angle are they standing at? if the person at the ball is right against this back wall here, right, they have essentially zero angle to make a shot. Let's put the camera right on the goal line, right? It's either going to come straight into you or it's going to go above you, right? So it's either going to come right into your arms in goalie stance. You don't have to do anything. Or you just easy jump, right? Even if they try to hit this back, you know, right in the back corner, right at the top of the box, right there, it's still going to have to go right over the top of you. So in that situation, I'm thinking either I'm going to get the ball, but what more likely is going to happen is he's going to cross the ball to one of his teammates. Now, something that I do as a goalkeeper when the other team is attacking and they're on your side of the field, or they're doing a fast break or something along those lines, is I'm always looking down at my mini-map. My eyes are going back and forth between the mini-map and the ball. I'm trying to see, okay, where are the players on the enemy team? Where are they standing in the box? Where is this cross most likely to go? Is it going to go right in the middle? Is it going to go top of the box? Is it going to go far post? You know what I mean? And I'm basically thinking, this guy most likely is not going to shoot, so I'm mentally preparing, where's the ball going to go, which guy is shooting, and what angle is he shooting from. So I'm staying here all the way until he kicks the ball. That animation starts that he's either chipping, passing, or doing like a shot pass, right? Or a shot. Any of those. So, but the moment the ball comes out, I'm taking a split second to say, okay, is this coming at net or is this a cross? If it's coming at net, either going right into your arms or you do a little jump, right? If it's going as a cross, again, you're like, okay, I know where most likely the ball is going to go. I know it's either going to go right into the middle, right? So I'm like, the moment the ball I might even have my camera angle at this, right? Like, I'm not necessarily thinking about the angle of the shot. I don't need to be like this so I can see exactly, you know, where I need to position myself. I'm going to be more like this, right? I'm going to be like, okay, I can see the guy, I can see the middle of the field, and boom, I'm here, right? Or is it going to go to the back post? Comes up, might even go out of defensive stance, and boom, I'm right here, right? Right on my arc. I even highly recommend doing the A or X dash, depending on what controller you're on in defensive stance, because this essentially gets you to about midfield. One more will get you to the back of the box, right? The other thing I want to talk about is when you're like, okay, this player has, you know, he might be here, right? Maybe here. He's not all the way at the back. He actually has a decent shot at the goal, right? He can either go to that back post or he can arc it into the near post. What I'm doing is, if anything in my brain is saying, okay, he has a half decent angle on the goal, I'm first and foremost focusing on stopping that shot. I'm expecting him to shoot, and I'm stopping that shot. I'm just staying positioned. I'm watching for the ball. I'm watching for that shot coming in, right? I'm watching for that arc, trying to see, you know, is it high? Is it low? Is it bending in? And I'm just fully focused on that. If it ends up being a cross, again, I have a half decent idea of where it's going to go because I'm switching my vision between the mini map and the person with the ball. And then, you know, easy, just a little dash over here, a little dash to the backside, cutting down that angle, staying on that goalie arc. The last thing I want to chat about here is off the backboard, right? You see a lot of people, if I can get the ball, see a lot of people go for one of these, right? They might go for something a little more, less of an angle, might just go for one of those, right? Now, honestly, in reality, these are pretty easy to defend as a goalkeeper. I would say a day into the game, when the game came out, me and my friends realized this is not the optimal way to cross. It sometimes works out. There might be one where they're over here and they send it way far back and it goes to a guy way on the backside, right? But 99% of the time, what they're trying to do is they're trying to give the ball to a guy right about here, right? They're trying to go for just something right here. It lands and a guy can take the shot. These are pretty easy to defend, right? If I'm on my goalkeeper arc and I'm cutting down the angle, the ball comes in, I can see, is it spinning? Where is it generally going to land above me? And I'm also saying, okay, is this gonna dip down at all into the goal? Is this an actual shot, not a cross? And there's two things that I'm gonna do, right? I have my camera kind of set up, so I'm like, okay, I'm blocking off the angle. I can see the guy. He's coming, I don't know, right at the top corner, right about there. He does a backboard shot, a backboard cross. Now I'm thinking, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking, where is the blue circle? That blue circle right there, where is it? I'm visualizing where the blue circle is, right? And if no one's in that area, I'm just gonna come out in my goalie stance and just wait for it to drop to me. Super easy. You know exactly where the ball is gonna be. If no one's there, right into your arms. Now, where it gets a little harder, and this is also specifically a rematch thing, because rematch seems to love giving the person going for the shot priority over anyone else. Like if a defender's standing in front of them and goes for a header, it seems to like to magnetize to the person going for a shot. If the ball drops to a guy and he's right here and he's going for one of those, right? The best thing you can do is you're already kind of coming out, you're trying to get the ball, right? If it ends up dropping to a guy, the moment you see him, don't do it sooner because you'll end up going through him. But the moment you see him pulling back his leg for that shot, right? The moment you see that, that's when I'm diving. Because the shot's going to come out pretty quick. So even if, the shot comes out a little late, I'm already on that angle. I'm already in the sky going for the dive. Basically, the moment he pulls the foot back to the longest he can hold the ball, you're still going to be in that dive animation. So the moment you see him winding up for that shot or going for a header, something like that, anything along those lines, I'm diving on it. I know exactly where the ball's going to end up. I can see the player, right? And it's pretty easy. You're just locking down that angle, stepping up, dive. So that's defending backboard crosses. That's defending crosses in general, right? They're all the way down at that corner. 90% of the time it's going to go for a cross. If not, right into your arms. They're going up here. You're prioritizing defending the shot. If it's not a shot, well, you're looking at your mini map, so generally, okay, this guy's going to be here where it's going. And now you're setting up, waiting for that shot to come in. It's coming off the backboard. It's either right into your hands, or you're cutting down the angle and going for the dive when they start up the shot. Now that is the basics of defending crosses in rematch. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about when to come out for the ball. There's a few opportunities in the game that you should come out for the ball, right? If their goalkeeper boots it or one of the enemy players clears it and it ends up all the way in that corner, nobody's close. They're all still kind of at midfield. Super easy, come out, make a pass, clear it, boot it, whatever you're going to do. I highly recommend trying to at least pass it to someone. Get the ball to someone on your team, not the enemy team. Now, one of the hardest decision-making times when to come out for the ball is when, let's say, the ball's right about, not there, but right about there, right? It's inside the box. There's a player coming down. He's about here, right? He's coming for the ball. He's like, oh my god, I want it. One-on-one. I want a goal. You're blocking down the angle, right? You see the ball. If the ball is in the box and you have a 50% chance of getting the ball, go for it. If me and the other player are at the exact same distance to getting the ball, the slide is going to win that over before they can do anything with the ball every time in a 50-50 situation. Now, obviously, anything higher than that, like if it's a 70-30 situation for you, it's kind of a no-brainer. You're like, I can easily get here before the enemy player can get here. That's my ball. If it's any time where the player is going to beat you to the ball and they have an opportunity to pull a rainbow or pull not a push ball backwards, but pull a push ball to the side, or do one of these, something along those lines, stay home. Don't go out and get the ball. Stay on your goalie arc, cutting the angle down, and don't bite. Okay? So that's when to come out to get the ball. General rules. At the end of the day, it really comes down to your decision making. But whatever decision you make, be confident in that decision making. Don't come halfway out Don't come halfway out to the ball and then be like, oh shit, he's there first, because now you're kind of out of position. Don't, you know, come all the way out here if you know you're going to get tackled instantly because you're outside of the box and you don't have that goalie priority. Just be confident in your decision making. Either you're going 100% for it or you're 100% staying home. One or the other. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before we get into a tip, one last little tip before we end the video, is clearing the ball. Because I see a lot of the times clearing the ball seems to be somewhat of an issue for people. And clearing the ball well seems to be kind of an issue for people. The first thing I want to talk about is that there's a player standing right on top of you trying to block your drop kick. Someone is open, right? There's 4 field players for each team. If one of them's on you, that means one of your teammates is wide open. No one is guarding him, right? So if one player is on you, one or more, if there's 2 people on you trying to block the shot, that means there's 2 people open. Anytime there's a player on you trying to block your goal kick or your drop kick, there's a player open. Find that player and make the pass. That's the first rule. Don't try to, you know, drop kick it to someone way the fuck up there, or, you know, it's gonna get blocked. It's always better to just make the easy pass to an open player. Don't force long drop kicks if someone isn't open. And when I say isn't open, I mean isn't 100,000,000% wide open, right? I see a lot of times goalkeepers either kind of don't really give a fuck what they're doing and they just do this and it lands right on an enemy player and they get possession right back after you've, you know, played hard defense. That sucks, right? You're like, okay, we finally won the ball back. We want to score a goal. We want to get ahead. Don't instantly kick it away. The only time I want to see you going for one of these is when you look and you're like, holy shit, that guy's standing way up there and there's not a single soul near him. He's wide open, right? Because a lot of the time, the players on the enemy team are going to start sprinting back towards their side of the field. And you're going to have a guy right over here, wide open, easy pass. Right? If no one is coming to defend you, all of the players have dropped back, all of the players have dropped all the way back to midfield or below that, what you can do is you can start walking the ball up. Now, this is dangerous, but if you do it smartly, it's totally fine. You're gonna start walking the ball up, right? And either one of 2 things is gonna happen. One of the enemy players is like, holy shit, the goalkeeper's out of the box. I'm gonna go rush him down and steal the ball. Or they're like, okay, you know, this guy's just gonna walk it up until one of us takes it on, so I'm gonna go take it on. The moment you see one of the players on the enemy team turn from defending your teammate to coming towards you, make that pass. You're looking all the way across the field, right? I'm keeping my eyes open. The moment I see someone coming down from this angle, that means this guy's open over here, right? And I can either do one of these, give it to him, or I can do a chip pass over that guy. Easy pass. Now this guy's wide open. Now they're in a 3v4 situation, right? This guy that came to take me on now has to get back, and you have the 3v4 advantage against the enemy team. The worst possible thing you can do when you're doing this is A, waiting for the person to get to you. If you wait too long, the chances of it getting stolen from your feet and or blocked is incredibly high. Or the absolute worst thing you could do, which is going to make your teammates just hate you, is try to take a guy on, try to rainbow over him, try to do some fancy shit. 9 times out of 10, you're getting the ball taken away and now the net's wide open. But this can be a very advantageous thing for your team to do, right? You're turning a 4v5 because their goalkeeper's in their goal into a 5v4, right? For you. You're drawing a defender away and opening up a teammate to be completely free. So if no one's coming and no one on your team, if no one's, you know, trying to stand right in front of you to block the drop kick and none of your teammates are open, start walking the ball up. The best option you have as a goalkeeper for clearing the ball is just rolling it to one of your teammates. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be open. When you kick it long, it's in the air for a while. Your guy might miss it, and it'll go past him and straight to the enemy goalie. Or he might just be standing there waiting for the ball to come, and the other guy comes racing across and gets to it before him because he's standing there waiting for it. Just doing one of these, right? You can control it way more than you can control a shot. Easiest thing you can do to defend, to clear the ball, right? So, clearing the ball first if someone's open and an enemy is on you trying to block a drop kick, just go to the sides. If someone's on you, that means someone's wide open. If no one's defending you, you can walk it up. So, that's the general rules for clearing the ball. Now, the last little tip that I want to talk about, because I've been seeing this a lot in my ranked games, is people will be standing in the goal, goalkeepers will be standing in the goal, someone's shooting it, and they think the ball's going to come right to them, right? They're like, okay, I'm guesstimating the trajectory of the ball, and it's going to just drop right to me. I don't have to do anything. 2 things. 1, the angle of your camera will a lot of times make it deceptive to how tall the ball is, right? I generally try to keep my camera right in line with my player's head, because then I can know, okay, how much distance between the post up there and my player's head over there is there, right? I can better see, okay, do I need to jump for this? Do I need to jump to the side for this? Right? That's some of the most important things. So basically what my rule is keep your camera angle level with your player's head, and it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather you dive out for a save. I'd rather you jump up for a save or jump to the side for a save than just stand there and say, yeah, 100% of this ball is coming to me. The only time you can stand there and say, yeah, 100% this ball is coming to me is if you're standing right on the blue dot where the ball is going to land. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I hope it's going to increase your saves in your ranked games. Your teammates will love you for it. Anytime, you have a beast goalkeeper on your team that's letting nothing in, you're like, I fucking love this guy, right? So I hope it wins you some games. I hope you get some great saves. Remember, be confident in your decision making. Whatever you're going to do that and don't switch it. And try to stay chill, right? Keep calm. If the ball goes in, 9 times out of 10, it's not your fault and it's a defensive failure, not yours. So keep calm, confident decision making, and it'll get you some dubs. Okay? Please like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Come watch me on the Twitch stream. I be playing ranked either by myself or with my friends almost every day. I just hit Plat 1, so I'm a couple games off from Diamond. I'm going all the way to the Elite. That's the goal. More rematch tutorials coming soon. I'm gonna have defensive tutorials, midfield tutorials, and forward tutorials that will help everyone understand the positioning, what their roles are, how to best be effective in those roles, and how those roles swap throughout the game. Because most of the time you're not gonna have you're not gonna be playing with 5 people and be like, all right, I'm gonna play defense, I'm gonna play forward, right? So being aware of all that fun stuff, how to best excel at those areas, and how to win more games. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you all have a good day.